Good day, everybody. Thank you for joining us on yet another episode of the podcast. On today's episode, I have a phenomenal guest with me. I have Hannah Rotimi-Williams. She's a phenomenal young lady in Nigeria doing amazing work at the intersection of psychology and agriculture. She happens to be the founder of Agripreneurs Support Network, and she's doing a lot of work around the intersection between climate change, wellness for farmers, as well as psychology. And so today we're going to be talking about the psychological cost of farming in a changing climate. And so our very first question today to our guests is such an interesting one because I was saying to her backstage that she happens to be the very first person I have met, working at this dynamic, at this intersection. And so, Hannah, my very first question to you is, what exactly spurred you to, you know, decide to make your work at the intersection of, psychology and agriculture? Why exactly did you do that blend?
Okay, so a short story, right?
Okay.
So first off, my educational background is in psychology. All right, so what I studied in school was psychology for undergraduate and then clinical psychology for masters, which I recently completed. But all I've been doing all along is farming. That's what I've been engaged in, right, from NYSC days. So I started with livestock farming and crop farming, which was the crop farming basically focused on cucumbers, right? And, it was just a small scale sort of thing. It was going really well. And then I'm like, okay, you know what? I need to get more knowledge about agriculture, right? Because my educational background is just in psychology. I can read and have theoretical knowledge, but I need to practice like hands-on on the farm to actually know what I want to do, right? So I decided to go to this farm where I learned a bit about crop farming, greenhouse and all that, soilless farming basically. And then I set up a rabbitry on that farm. That was the farm I went to train at that time. So I set up this rabbitry, and it was quite big because it was a grant. It was from a grant. That was what I used to set it up. And prior to that, I was already in rabbit farming like a little bit. I knew how to manage rabbits, and then I got to the farm where I learned. I hope you can hear me.
Yes.
So
Yes.
where did you lost me?
Said rabbitry farming.
Yes. So that was what I was doing at that time, right? So this was the first time I was doing it on a large scale, say like 100 rabbits or 50 to 100 rabbits thereabouts. And this was the first time I encountered like a major challenge in agriculture, which was that giants attacked my rabbits overnight. It was traumatizing actually, because the picture was it was crazy. Imagine just coming to the farm in the morning. I was so happy. Let's go and feed the rabbits. And then it was even a week to sales actually. I was meant to sell them out and make good money. So I'd been wearing them for 3 months. And then it was time to sell it out and make some money. So you're just happy. I mean, these rabbits are getting big, money is coming. And then I got to the farm. From afar, I just saw blood. It was blood I first saw. I'm like, blood. Where? How? I got there, soldier ants everywhere, They had killed some of the rabbits. They already bore holes into their bodies coming out here. And I'm like, Jesus, this was the first time I was experiencing such, Everybody had to run and come and help me, like, save the ones we could save, which was just about 8 or thereabouts. That was the number we could save out of about. So at that point, it didn't even occur to me immediately until I went back to the house, and then I even slept and dreamt of soldier ants that night, right? I saw the soldier ants, something you've put all your strength and your time into, and then in just overnight, almost all the rabbits died. Then it just got me thinking that I had also like seen some patterns of things that could cause some psychological stress on farmers. In the sense that at that time, the farm where I had gone to intern on, I remember we were like, we had worked on greenhouses, about 80 greenhouses. And then just one night, one rain fell like that. I don't know where the rain came from, but the rain came with like really heavy wind. It was so windy, and then almost all the greenhouses collapsed. I'm like, I remember seeing the owner of the farm that day, and then I'm just like, are you okay? Like, are you fine? After investing this amount of money into, the greenhouses, then just overnight. I remember he even came to the farm that day driving. I think even hit his car somewhere because just the thought of greenhouses, 80 greenhouses,
Jesus,
money,
still
investment.
have millions.
Yes, gone just like that. So I remember that was before my own soldier ants drama, right? So I just connected. It was just like this light bulb that just turned on that. Anna, you can actually use your psychology in this sector. It was just that light bulb moment, right? Like just that quick. Are you not seeing that these people need, including you've experienced it, you can see that these farmers and people in the agri sector actually need a psychologist, right? For certain times of their life, seasons of their life and everything. So that was actually what led me to mental health and psychology, plainly. It was obvious for me to see the gap because of my educational background, right? Like, so it was so obvious. It was just plain. And then, from there, I just started, I started going to farms, went to different farms, was hearing different stories. I would just spend time listening to farmers and then like their struggles. And then I'm just like, things are happening. Things are happening and we don't care about farmers. We don't care about the people growing. We're neglecting the people growing the food, actually. We're just focusing on, grow food security. But if the farmer is not secure, like more than physically now, I'm talking mentally, emotionally, and all the other aspects, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what are we really talking about here? So, long story short, I don't know if it was long or if it was short, but that's the short story about my journey into.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Just hearing you share your founder's story, it's so interesting. It's interesting how, you had sought a challenge, and rather to be beaten down by it, you saw it as an opportunity to provide a solution that has, prior has not been in existence. And you just being able to connect the dots and then say, okay, I think I can, you know, take advantage of my expertise as a psychologist and then apply my knowledge here. Because you could have as well just been lamenting, like, oh my God, my
Telling you.
rabbit,
I
I've
did
lost
lament.
money,
But it didn't stop
my,
at
my,
that.
my construction, you just like, oh my
I'm
God,
telling
money.
you.
Well,
Telling
wow.
you.
Wow. That's really good, really, really good.
Yeah.
So I think just hearing you talk about it now makes me think about the fact that sometimes, even when we have challenges, there's also like a silver lining there if we're able to just put
Yes.
ourselves together and really look at it.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
really good. Interesting. Interesting. So, my next question is: you also talked about you had visited, some farmers, just having to
Yeah.
like gain more insights as to the
Yeah.
challenges as they are. So, can you
Yes.
share some most of like the common psychological stresses that you've seen
Yes.
farmers or agripreneurs sort of experience?
Yeah, I can do that. So maybe I should even start from should I start from myself? No, I won't start from myself. But anyways, let's start from climate,
Please,
right?
feel free.
Climate on predictability, right? Like in this particular time, like climate is very unpredictable. Like you might think there's rainy season, like you can't even predict that, okay, this is rainy season and this is dry season. So you see some farmers saying that, oh, they really prepared, they already planted their crops, and then rain didn't come. And remember that not all farmers have access to finances or funds like that, especially like those farmers in remote areas. They don't
In
really have
rural
access.
areas, yes.
Yeah, they don't have access to funds to do things like irrigation, where you're getting the drip irrigation, and they have to rely on rain. And if the rain does not fall, I mean, the seeds you've already gotten, the land preparation, not to now talk of your energy, all that is wasted. So that's like one of the major psychological issues, like, or major factors that can bring that psychological stress to farmers. That's the first one. Then even financial instability, which is also part of that one where I said if you don't have money, you can't really set up a good irrigation for your plants, right? I've also heard of like farmers, like real life stories, that some farmers, they ran away because maybe they took loans and they were unable to get those loans, right? So they took those loans, and because they were unable to pay for it, they ran away. Real life story, they left. So this farmer that I heard about actually left his wife and his child, and he ran away. You can just imagine that. So that is because he has no one to like
that's
talk to.
traumatic.
That's very, very traumatic, right? Then even just like my story that I said, just a lot of unforeseen things that you did not plan for just coming up like that. Those things can cause like psychological stress for a farmer, especially when you've put in your all and then it's just happening like that. Or uncertainty too. For example, I'll give an example about uncertainty. So imagine these farmers. I know, was it last year? I think it was last year that I think a dam broke somewhere and then flooded like the northern part of Nigeria. I think it was last year. And then a lot of farms were wiped out, where they had to like do this rescue mission for a lot of people because people were wiped out of their homes. People could not stay in their homes. And then lots of farms, the products on the farms, things people have planted. You think before those people will recover from such traumatic experience? I don't know. And I don't even think anyone is even planning to give those people psychological help to even help them like recover or pass through that phase, right? Before they recover from next time, before you say you go into farming again with that type of thing that happened, you just be like, I'm not doing again. You know, something happened to me recently. I'm bringing it back to myself. Somehow I like that I experienced some of these things because I can relate better, right? So my fish farm, I have a fish farm. So that this was towards December period. I had gone to the farm to even check. I had gone to the farm to check on my fish and everything, right? It was, I think I was trying to come back and harvest maybe like 2 or 3 days after now. So I'm like, the fish was big. I was even carrying a sea fish. Come and buy, we'll be selling. Like the next week when I was coming back, I heard that most of them had died. Most of my fish had died. I lost over 3 million for that investment that I did, right? I'm like, Jesus, as painful as that is, it's another like confirmation. I'm telling you, it's another confirmation for me that this thing you are doing really makes sense, because there are people who actually face this like from time to time, like always. They're just always facing this type of issue. They're always facing this type of issue, and that is why I'm doing what I'm doing, right? So we've spoken about the climate issue, we've spoken about stress, anxiety also, because sometimes when you face these things, it takes the strength of God and the power of God for you not to be anxious about the next season or next batch of whatever you are doing. Like, if I do this one, God, I beg, and things like that. So those are some of the issues farmers actually face.
Oh my God. That's it. I think from what you've also said, way just more than the financial loss, and that financial, the impact of it, what it does to a person mentally. And aside just the anxiety, there's just this thing where some people might just retire by saying, I no longer want to do this. Is it worth it? Like, I'm investing a lot of money into it and I'm not making money as much. So why should I keep doing that? And for the case of the guy that ran away, I think he just felt hopeless and helpless. Like, there's no way I'm going to get money to pay back my loan. There's no way.
I can't remember how much it was that he owed, but I know it was almost 100 million. It was a lot. It was a whole lot. So it's just like, you know what? I have to run. I have to run. If he had someone to talk to, I guess maybe it wouldn't have been the case. But I know that wherever I ran to, I don't think it would also be fine there, right? Because that's just the thoughts, bad reputation, whatever could have gone. Because I guess it was investment money, and then it just did not pay. So that reputation.
So from what you've also said now, I'm thinking about it like, is there a possibility that somewhat, the service that you provide can also sort of be intertwined with extension services?
Yes. So that's actually even the best way to go about it.
Yeah.
So it's more like all these cultural extension officers, right?
Yeah,
When
basically they just share like knowledge about maybe cultivation,
exactly, I'm
animal
telling you,
husbandry. But I think if there's an infusion of
yeah,
this in
and they're the
the
ones
the
interfacing
agenda,
with the
right?
farmers. They actually interface with the farmers more than any other
Yeah.
they do the entire because you are going to teach them like certain things about cultivating your crops and all. So they will actually be the best to also carry that knowledge, even if you cannot do much, at least mental health awareness, carry it to the farmers, create support groups for them so that they can come and talk about their experiences. So somebody will not die thinking alone
No,
and
but,
things
but
like that.
I think I would want to say this way. I think that it's something that you could possibly um so I don't know if it's
Um,
like in every state in Nigeria. There's something called they call it in my state it's called ADP, Agricultural Development Program, right? And I
okay.
think it's under like the Ministry of Agriculture. I don't know if it's in all states across the country,
Yes.
And so typically those are the guys from those offices. Most farmers are able to maybe have access to like improved seedlings,
Yeah.
through the extension people. They
Yeah.
typically are the middlemen between like
Yeah.
researchers and the
Yeah.
farmers, right?
Yes.
So I'm thinking about it like, oh, okay, you could definitely do something with the
Yeah.
government because I don't think the
Yeah.
government is thinking about it.
They are not.
And so I
That
feel like
my country, they are not.
the easiest penetrable way to go about this might even be from the local government
That's
first
that's
before like
that's
the
just
state level.
yes. That's just you start at the grassroots level, right? That's the best thing before you even go to the state level. So some of the farms are funny enough, what I do is kind of like extension services, just that I don't really talk much about cultivation of crops. I do more of mental health awareness. I spoke about going to farming communities. So I don't go alone. I have like a team of people and then we just go to farming communities. We enter farms like that and then we speak to the farmers about mental health. They share what they're going through with us. We counsel where we can and then we support and things like that, breathing exercises. So last year, December, I did something like that and it was through the community, is it the chairman or whatever they call it now? That was how I was able
Like
to like
community chief or community head.
that was how I was able to gather most of the farmers together because I did some mental health assessments for the farmers, even physical health also because I'm like they're intertwined. I cannot do one and leave the
Yeah.
because you hear some farmers saying that what is actually disturbing them is the fact that they feel like in the next few years they might not be able to do what they're doing currently because I have back pain, I have this,
Mm.
right, things like that. So I also assessed like the physical health aspect. I didn't want to leave one for the other. So that was what I
Mm.
did. It was really, it was feeling shy. It was
Yeah,
so
I feel like you're
more
doing
of
like
that.
a lot of enormous work, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
oh my God, I don't know how much credit you're getting for what you're doing, but you should be giving a lot of flowers. And these flowers are
Yeah.
not just like plant flowers; it should include a lot of money as well. You
Yes.
know,
I mean, you're speaking the
and
language.
literally,
Yes.
you should be giving like
Yeah.
you're helping the government, and I think that.
Actually.
Oh, but I also think, in a way, one of my thought process in the course of just doing this work, I've come to the conclusion that the government can't do everything. And I'm glad that, people like
That's
yourself are also,
yeah.
seeing the need and taking the lead,
Yeah.
and then, putting yourself out there, putting your best foot forward, and just, going in the might that you have, right? But I
Yeah.
also think that there's also this thing with a lot of coalitions and collaborations to
Yes.
basically help. Personally,
Yeah.
my thought process around governments is they create enabling environments and policies that helps you thrive. But when it comes
Yeah.
to the heart of the work, if we all wait on
Nah.
governments, nothing might be done.
Yeah. Very true.
Wow.
Very, very, very true.
Wow.
And then
So
they'll
this
come and
leads me
say
down to my
food
okay,
security.
proceed.
I'm saying that they will mention food security, but if the farmer, I keep asking, if the farmer is not secure, which food are you securing? Like one farmer in the north there has committed suicide, right? One farmer
Mm.
there has committed suicide. This one ran away. That one did this. This one said, "I'm not doing again," because they don't have
Yeah.
the experience to carry on. And a psychologist could basically help with that. It's just a mental health situation.
But another thing is, right? I also think of it as sometimes people are not able to, especially like the government, people are not able
Yeah.
to move fast on things if there's no. So I put it this way: if there's no like how would say it now? It's like when you have like not like policy, but like maybe
Okay.
actual research to back
Yes.
what you're saying.
Yeah.
And so it's so as much as you're doing this, I would like also like you to probably, do like a publication or a paper or something that, all the
That is
statistics,
working on.
just
Yeah.
putting it out there. Like, okay,
Yes.
it's visible, like, oh, even if
Yeah.
it's just
That's a good idea.
your current region of residence right
Yeah.
now, or the village you've been to, the surveys
Yeah.
you've done. I believe you already have that data, but
Yeah.
just collate it in a way that it
I do
comes
have,
out as a report.
but what I did work on was around substance abuse, right? Substance use amongst farmers, because that is actually a
That's a
psychological.
coping mechanism now.
Yes, and it's a psychological issue. Because why are you abusing substances? Because you hear some farmers, so it's one of two things. Like most times, things like that are accidental, right? So you are taking whatever you are taking so that you can work on the farm, which I have farmer friends that actually do this, right? I saw this one very well while I was on that farm. I'm like, no, this is wrong. So now you go and take something, you will now work on the farm, you will work like there's no tomorrow, use all your energy. So you're taking substance as energy booster, right? And then there are those who also use it for pain, in the sense that, oh, my back is paining me, my back is paining me, my back is paining me. And then you keep taking different type of things, right? And so I think I worked on that for my master's. Actually, I was like, for my master's, I need to do something around farming. I can't just do research that will not be useful to me. So I did something around farming, which was substance use and abuse. Yeah, and it
So you should.
was
I won't say. I won't say should, but try to make it as a report.
yeah. I
Try
think
to
I
make
would
it
work.
as a report in a way. If it's something that because you already have your name and stuff on it, try to make
Yeah,
it as a report, make it public as well.
yeah,
And because
yeah,
that's also like a conversation starter
yeah,
for
yeah,
these kinds of things. Especially, I think about it, especially for like the international community.
yeah,
Sometimes things like it gives you opportunity to maybe access grants that will be able to
yeah,
maybe allow you do some interventions,
yeah. You're very right.
and then you then start thinking about how to then make those things a bit sustainable, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
at that start, because sometimes I think that when you've already gotten momentum, it's easier for the
yeah.
government to meet you halfway.
Yes, you're very right. You're very right.
But you're doing a lot of work. Wow.
A lot. I would not try to say, oh no, it's not. It is actually a lot.
Yeah, it is. And so this now takes me to my next question, which is what's what's the one thing that agricultural programs or even NGOs or policymakers keep getting wrong when it comes to this farmer wellness from your own experience? What's one thing you think they
Yes.
keep getting wrong?
First off, like the first thing is that at most agricultural programs and all NGOs, they don't even go to that part at all. Like, so it's just productivity, yield, so this one, they just leave out the wellness part. I'm like, but we need to be more people centered. Like, as long as we're talking about sustainability, soil, water sustainability, soil, this one, agricultural sustainability, there's human sustainability too, right?
True.
And we need to be more people centered. But I hardly hear agricultural organizations or NGOs mention wellness. The only ones I've heard that mention wellness, they're outside the country, right? Because I do know of some organizations outside the country, like UK and the likes, that do something around mental health and well-being in agriculture. Through my research, I think I found them. And funny enough, those ones are even like they even recognize that, okay, I'm doing something in that, because I've had some of them reach out to me concerning that. So they've seen that I'm doing something in that line. But my people in Africa and Nigeria and things like that, I don't think personally I've heard anybody talk about farmers' wellness.
But I think that's what makes you stand out. Think
Yes,
about it. I think that you have something,
yes,
something in business. In business, we call first movers advantage,
yes. Like that's
which
what I
is
keep telling my friends. Like, for this one, no, for this
you have
mental
first
health,
movers advantage. And the
agriculture,
good thing is, so
I
and
got
the
it.
good thing with that is you for now, you've already seen like prototypes
Yeah.
outside and how they're
Yeah.
doing it. It then,
Yeah.
what will now happen is you trying to take it and contextualize it
Yeah.
to what we can
That's just
use.
the thing. That is just the thing, because it's so the what would I put? How would I put it now? Like, the environment is so different. Like, they are so different from us. I'm like, Nigeria is unique. Africa is just unique in our own way, like that. So you cannot even say you want to just copy and paste their own. You have to contextualize. It will not even work if you want to copy and paste. It won't work at all. You just have to contextualize it, like you said. You have to bring it here and just contextualize it. What I've tried to do is, for most of my speaking engagements, right? If I'm called to, for example, last year when I went for African Food Systems Forum, I spoke a lot about mental health and well-being, because it's something that is coming up and it's something we need to take serious, right? It's not gone are the days when you just say it should be it is a very serious matter. So I think I did a bit of awareness. Wherever I go, I just ensure that I drop I kind of drop it there, like, just prepare the grounds, like talk about it, like, talk about mental health and well-being in agriculture. So that is what I do. But like you said, yes.
So amplify it. I would say amplify it. One of the ways you can
Yeah.
amplify it, those people that are already reaching out to you, have them
Yeah.
also maybe host like something, maybe like a webinar or something. Have them
Yeah.
also, speak from their context, and you also speak about
Yes.
our own context, and that
Yeah.
put that out there more.
Yes.
Because
Okay. I
the
think
truth is, it's not necessarily that people don't want to embrace it. Sometimes
yes.
people don't even understand it.
We don't. That's why this awareness of it thing. That's why I keep saying mental health awareness first before. Like, funny thing is that people are going through it. That's the funny thing. People are going through it, but they don't. And then coming with big terms, like if I'm dealing with rural farmers, yeah, except if I want to focus on educated farmers, right?
And the city farmers have money to see therapists. Don't worry.
You get exactly. So rural farmers, you have to break it down. It's not just coming to say mental health. Where I'm going to a farm where what they know how to speak is Yoruba. Why am I coming to say mental health, whatever? And I had that challenge a lot when I went to those farming communities to create awareness. I had to find a way to just make them understand what I'm actually talking about, because they're actually going through it. They're going through it, right? So, like you said, that maybe having to when I start doing my flyers or whatever, it cannot be in English. It will not be in English. I have to like use different
No, so
languages,
so I
and
think that
some people don't know how to read their language safe.
no, so this is what I think. This is what I think
There's a lot
it's
of
a
work.
good thing.
That's just it,
So in my
right?
head, I can already see how this can almost like multiply
Yeah.
what you are doing, because it's psychology. Universally, we are all wired the same. Like our
It's just
core basic needs are the same. Well, as long as you're human being. So our
yeah,
expressions or our desires for it might vary in terms of intensity, but
yeah.
psychologically, our human needs are the same. So you just
That's the
follow
same.
Maslow hierarchy of needs. It's the same
Yes,
thing.
yes.
But you might be at different level of it in your
Of that,
life's journey. And so what you are doing, even in the southwest where you are, that same
yeah,
thing can be taken and replicated in the north. Somebody
yeah.
just
You're
needs to
very.
speak Hausa with
That's
whatever
it.
learnings
Just
and stuff. So
very
it's like
language
you're creating
barrier.
a blueprint.
Yes, it's just a
Like,
blueprint, and we work everywhere. Just
oh my
the
god.
first thing you just do is find someone who is among them, right? One, two, the language barrier, break it. And once you find someone who is among them, who lives among them, that buys the idea, we sell it. The person we spread it.
Hmm.
There's a whole lot that can be done. There's a whole lot. There's a whole lot that can be done.
Even in this our conversation now, just taking it to the next question I have to ask you. We're talking about us being people centered. So what would
Yeah.
you say is a truly people centered food system? What would that look like? And how far are we from that point? Form your own
Okay, maybe
assessment.
I will start from the last question. We are very far. We're very, very far. I don't know why I'm laughing, but we're actually very far from it, from what I said earlier, Sha. But when we're talking about a people-centered food system, now we're talking more about the well-being of the people growing the food, right? That's the farmers and every other person involved in the food system. So we are not talking about the farmers, the processors, the logistics people, marketers. So now you're after their well-being. It's not that you're leaving productivity for their well-being. You're after productivity as well. But now you're not focusing just on productivity. As they are being productive, you are trying to look at their needs also, right? Emotional, physical, and all the other needs that they have, right? Safety and things like that. So you are looking after the well-being of the people in the food systems, talking about farmers, processors, and the likes. That's just it. That's just it. So you're not just after food, give us food security. What of people security now? So that's what actually makes us human, actually. Let me just put it that way. So basically, that's it. That's what people-centered approach.
So you're saying people-centered is that we take the approach to cater for every single person on the value chain, whether you are the cultivator, you are the processor, you are the distributor, you are the selling person. We just take out the time to ensure that every single operator within the value chain is catered for mentally.
Yes, and not just mentally, physically, safety-wise, even knowledge, which actually I think most organizations are doing well on the knowledge part, right? Ensuring that these people grow when it comes to having information and being knowledgeable about what they're doing. Most organizations are doing that. I give them kudos for that one. And even when it comes to like empowering people with equipment and things like that, seeds, they're doing well at that. But when it comes to that, you see that physical safety aspect and then emotional issue, that's where they need to do better. Don't let me say they're not trying, but they need to do better.
So it's like saying, you see what you're saying now, it's like saying everybody's aware that, investment is important, right? But if a person has not seen the need and doesn't understand it, they will never engage at that level to commit to it. So there's still a lot that needs to be done around, even with maybe policymakers, even with key stakeholders, within the sector. It's over the years, like what we are, perpetually used to is these other aspects of the value chain. Nobody's thinking about that part because they feel like, okay, there's no direct impact between a person's mental health and productivity. So productivity for them is like, okay, do you have enough seedlings? Do you have enough machines? Do you have enough workers? So they've not seen.
It's way beyond. Nah. It's way beyond
Interesting.
that. Like, you don't think about it now. It's just way beyond that. It's just if a farmer is not feeling well mentally, I mean, if that productivity you're looking for, you will not get it. That's just the truth. You won't get it. Accidents on the farm with the machines you bought for the farmer. So it's a whole lot, really. It is just a whole lot. I'm telling you.
So from what you're saying now, is it that in some ways we have to sort of redefine what our success metrics is?
Yes.
To intentionally sort of include, farmers' well-being in that as well.
Yeah, we do. We need to actually do that very much. We need to do that because if your farmers are not, when they talk about resilience in agriculture, they're not talking about the mind or like the farmer being resilient, like able to cope with any challenge that comes his way, that kind of resilience. They're not talking about it. It's resilience in terms of food has to be available. That's so.
How can you go back to the farm after a major loss, after a major setback?
It's so self-centered and so selfish. As far as I'm concerned, like it's like you're thinking about yourself alone. You never.
No, but I also think so. This is the thing. I think that I always try to think about it as sometimes people, when we know better, we do better.
Yeah, let's just blame it on ignorance.
Exactly. So if you're able to make, like when we started out this conversation, you talked about the fact that you were able to make the correlation because of your level of expertise. So because that's at the core of your work, right?
Yeah,
so you can always be at that point where you're advocating for that. because that's at the
Yes.
core of your work.
Yeah.
So give the rest of us grace. Teach us more. Talk more about it.
I'll do that. I'll do that. I'll do
Exactly.
that.
Give the rest of us grace.
I mean, I know it's very glaring to me. Anywhere I am, any farm, too, I don't pick. If this is a psychological problem, or this person's mental health is at stake. A lot, just a whole lot. It's just we cannot finish that discussion today, but that's just part of it.
Okay.
That's just
Based off of what we've talked about now, what do you think? Like, how can we sort of design like a feedback loop, within the
okay.
agricultural system that sort of continuously captures and responds to farmers' emotional and psychological reality?
Yeah. It's, to be honest, I think one of the ways is actually by creating support groups. And actually, we've even answered this question you're asking me, because initially you were saying that you feel one way that I could go about this is with the agricultural extension agents, right? And they could actually be very, very useful in this question you just asked. So they can actually help by creating support groups. So now support groups, I'm not saying that it's just farmers coming together, just small groups of farmers coming together in a community. And that's why most times, like in farming, we always encourage community. Don't go and farm alone. If you farm alone, people farm alone, but I'm sure they have support system one way or the other, but it's
So
not
would that be like maybe like a cooperative? Farmers usually have like cooperative and clusters.
Cooperative is actually a very, very good example that can serve as a support group. So, but now the thing is, that's why a lot of, like you said, that's why a lot of awareness needs to be done about this, because in cooperatives, they will not really talk about your well-being now. It's something else they'll be talking about, right? Or
Cooperative,
association.
we're looking for, can we get seedling
I'm
cheap? Can we
telling
get
you,
machines cheap? Can we get labor cheap?
you get all these associations, this one
Yeah.
association, this one club, Agri Innovation Club, Lagos State. That could actually serve as a very, very good example of how to create a system of feedback loop. Because I even think the Ministry of Agriculture the Minister of Agriculture Commissioner of Agriculture rather for Lagos State is in that club I just mentioned. So she's hearing it directly now, like when farmers in the group. And aside from that, we also need to create a safe space. So it's not just about creating like a platform where farmers can come and talk. Is it safe enough for them to actually speak up?
Psychological safety, yeah.
Farmers, yes, because farmers, one thing about farmers, right, is that I won't say it's pride, but they always feel like, everyone expects them to be strong. That's actually how it is. Farmer is strong. That's why most people don't, when you come as a farmer and you say this, people don't really rate you, because they feel like farmers are meant to be strong. And it's just a thing with farmers generally. Even you yourself, you feel like you're meant to be strong. Or push on and whatever. But not my upcoming generation, not Gen Z. Gen Z, the first one like this, they'll run out. So I feel like safe spaces need to be created for farmers to actually be able to speak up, right? And even in space, like, people should actually listen, because everybody wants to talk, and the farmer will only talk if you're actually listening to him or her, right? So listening, and then like a safe space and things like that, those are like what helps create that feedback loop and everything. But now, when agricultural extension officer comes in, is that's like the bridge between like the outside world and then like the farmer itself. So if an extension agent is like hearing everything that the farmer is saying, the experiences and all, they can bring it back to us, and then we try and work with that and then create like a better system for them. So they're actually the bridge. They're very, very important, because they go to the farmers. Like you said earlier,
So
they had that.
I would say this to
Yeah,
you. This is like,
yeah.
I'll say this to you. Create whether it's like a manual, a guide, or a
Yeah.
framework
Yeah.
that group of people can use, because they have
Yes.
access to spaces and people that you don't have access to.
Yes. Yes. That's just it. You're very right.
And it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be free. Maybe I'm saying this on national television
Yeah.
now, but it doesn't have to be free. It could be like, it doesn't have to be free. Start
Yeah. It
out
does not.
with maybe, if you know a very, what's it called? If you know like a very, because most local governments, like depending on where you are, like my state,
Yeah.
there are certain local government that are known for cultivating certain things by virtue of
Yeah.
the fact where they are situated. They are like
Yes.
more rural into it. Like we have like a
Yeah.
community in my state where they basically grow a lot of plantains, right? So imagine
Yeah.
and that's like the major source of livelihood for those people there. So I'm
Yeah. You're
saying
right.
in your own city where you're domiciled, right? If you could access like that kind of, local
Community.
government chairman,
Yeah.
and then, just show
Yeah.
him like this is what is possible, da 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 da. Have the
Yeah.
government sort of maybe sponsor like a pilot-ish for you, and then
Yes.
you replicate that. That's a lot of.
Yeah.
But with the guide,
You're right.
the guide will go to many places you've never been,
Yes. Yes. That's just it.
and it will spread the word faster than
That I actually.
Instagram post or
Yeah. I'm
LinkedIn post or.
telling you. I'm telling you. Even the people who want to reach, yes, okay, I'm for everybody, right? I'm reaching everyone, but most of the people that I
You're
actually
not
want
for
to reach, they're
everybody.
not.
No, in marketing, we are not for everybody. There's
They're not
something called
really.
target audience.
Yes.
You're not
So
for
I mean, like
everybody.
this rural, I was saying these rural people, they are not even on Instagram. Like most of them are not. What's Instagram? What's LinkedIn? What's that?
Yeah. So the core is having that guide or that or
Yeah.
that book or something in the hands of extension guys.
Yeah. So when they enter those villages and those places, they will do the work, and even
Or
maybe
even you
also.
should even speak with this.
Nah.
Do you know Mr. Jaffa?
No, I don't know Mr. Jaffa. Who is Mr. Jaffa?
Hi, Abubakar Jaffa. He happens to be the DG of Nigerian Agro Business Group.
Oh, really? I don't know him.
Oh, okay. So the last event that was had, it was about how did they term this thing? So it's this thing where they were trying to create like a policy document for
Oh,
the government as regards agriculture. It was like a full-fledged 2 or a whole day event, bringing out like drafting what they think the government should do, as regards
yeah,
mechanization, as regards deploying technology, as regards youth involvement in agriculture. I think
yeah,
that you want to be part, like conversations that are maybe at a high level like that. You also want to
yeah,
be part of those conversations because sometimes,
yeah.
because typically what they did that day, they were just asking us questions like, okay, what do you guys think we've not covered? What are some of the
You've
nuances
not
that we
covered.
don't
You've not
understand we could
covered mental
add?
health. No,
You
and
know, but
lobby
there was
of
no,
farmers.
I was on that call that day. There was no mental health on that
Hey,
call.
you should have brought it up now.
There was
You
no, I
have.
had no. So I had my own agenda. My own agenda
Oh,
was around because typically my work is more around um circular economy, right? I know that we don't have a production problem, right?
okay.
We have a value add problem.
Okay, value
We have a
addition.
distribution problem. And so
Okay.
sometimes we produce agricultural produce, and
Mm-hmm.
30 to 50% of that produce goes to waste. As of
That's
now, whether some are
that's
going to waste at the field itself, some are going to waste in the move, on the move distribution. Like I'm taking product from like
right.
maybe Ibadan to like Benin or Warri. Before it gets there, a huge percentage of it gets bad. Like if you even go to like my 12 market
If you
every day, like products are coming from the north. A lot of them goes bad by the time they get to my 12. And so they're just so my own initiative is okay. What can we even do with these ones that have gone bad? There's still something in it.
yeah,
That's the concept of circular economy.
yeah,
It's like produce, use, and
okay,
reuse, not dispose.
yeah, okay, okay.
We are not trying to find a solution to let's because right now nobody's even people are trying to curb, minimize the waste that is being produced. But however, it's still
Yeah,
there.
it's
So
there,
what
like
can we do with the
there.
waste? Other people,
Since we
what can we
cannot
do with it?
minimize it immediately, okay, like
So what
what
can we
can we
exactly? What's the outcome we can, achieve with
yeah,
that? Because there's so much, so much
very
more around that. And so that was my own add-on to that conversation. I had another friend that came in, and our own add-on was, particularly for women, and she was talking about that, some women don't get so many opportunities from the government because if you're a certain age, maybe you are over 35, that's like the
yeah,
cap. And she was like, women that, due to childbearing, they had to leave the workforce scene and now they've come
yeah,
back and they're trying to say they will not get opportunity. you know.
Yeah.
So everybody had their own notion for going there.
I know, right? So
Everybody
you
had their
cannot
notion
come
for
and leave it and now face another one. There's a lot to be done with agriculture,
no,
I guess. I need to get
so
down now.
Okay.
I need to get down from the car so that I'll be right back. Oh, I'm still here with you, though.
Okay. So I'll take our final question though.
Okay.
So my final question to you today would be, what's your one message to policymakers?
Okay. All right. So I'll say my one message to policymakers is for them to, number one, when you're designing policies, like design with the farmers in mind. I'm sorry, it's quite dark, but you see my face soon. So yeah, design with the farmers in mind, right? I think a lot of persons are doing that now, or organizations, or even policymakers, like they invite farmers to the table and then like they design with them in mind. Ask them questions like, okay, what are the challenges they are going through and things like that, and then they just try to craft. I think a lot of organizations are doing that now, honestly speaking, but more still needs to be done because there are still areas. I guess one thing is, okay, it's not enough to call, farmers into the room, right? But they have to be well represented. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
I understand, yeah.
So you're not
The
just calling
actual
farmers from
category of
one.
people that wants to be
Yes,
served. Yeah.
yes, like it has to be well represented if
Yeah,
you
not
actually
the
want to
elite
have
farmers.
yes, not just we have brought farmers into the room. Okay, how did you select them? Is there equal representation? Because everybody is facing different kinds of things, right? So that's it.
Yeah. Okay. So my
I'm
final
sorry, so I'm
question
a bit
is
distracted.
my final question to you, so I can let you go, is
Okay.
what's your one message to farmers that are struggling right now?
Okay, my one message to farmers that are struggling right now is number one, speak up, like speak up, speak up, speak up, speak up, speak up. That's the first thing. Like look for someone that you are close to or like a support system and speak up, like stop. Oh, me, when my own rabbits, when my rabbits, I spoke up. I spoke up that day. My rabbits, I spoke up immediately. When my rabbits, whatever, when my fish stuff happened too, I spoke up immediately. I don't things like that. That's when you don't speak up and you keep internalizing those things, suppressing those feelings. That's when it goes to the other extreme of mental health. So for example, now I always say that mental health is like a staircase, right? So you can move up, you can move down depending on what you are going through at the moment. So if you keep going through these issues, right, that are like dealing with your emotions negatively, and you don't speak up, you are going towards the end of the staircase, you are going down on the staircase, and then you can fall into depression. That's when you hear that someone had suicidal thoughts and someone committed suicide, they did not speak up, right? And so that's the first thing. So after, maybe I should not, before speaking up, no, we are going to speak up to also, because it's not everybody you go and open up to. Some people will just add, they will add to your issues. So no, we are going to actually speak up to. You are not speaking up to just, most times it's good to speak to fellow farmers. Actually, it's good to speak up to fellow farmers or more experienced farmers, right? That's why it's always good to have like this circle of people or this type of people around in your circle, like people that are way experienced than you are, and then like people that are like maybe your colleagues, your friends. Because when you speak up to them, this has happened to me before, don't worry, you come out of it, this, they'll show you the ropes, right? And then your colleagues they'll be there to encourage you, people will laugh and everything. So that's like the two. Is that all? Well, one and two, speak up, and then who we are speaking up to. Okay, let me give the top. If a farmer is struggling today and you don't have like a support system, just try to create one. Just as soon as possible, just try to create a support system for yourself, right? Friends, family, mentors, and things like that, people that you can speak to. Those are like my three, whatever. I cannot give you advice that I should go to this place or this place because my government, I don't know yet. I don't think that's, but get a support system, right? Yeah, get a support system, basically.
Fantastic. So I think we'll wrap up with, telling us a bit about, Agro Awareness Support Network. If it's something that people, how can people be part of it to access, your service and things, and how can people get in touch with you?
All right, so you've heard it all. I mean, Agri Wellness Support Network is not far from what we've spoken about. It's the same thing, but I would say that what we do is we're committed to the well-being of farmers, actually health and well-being. But we focus more on mental health of farmers, right? But you know that when you're dealing with mental health, it's connected to a whole lot of other issues that you have to solve along the way, right? Physical health, safety, financial issues. We don't give out money, by the way. But I'm just saying that all those things they are connected. So I can't say I'm doing just mental health. It's interconnected. So I visit physical health sometimes. I visit safety sometimes, just to help the farmer. But that is what we do basically. So we go on awareness to farms. We host wellness fairs. Like last year, what we did, we held a wellness fair in a farming community, where we took care of their physical health and mental health, and we even gave them some tools, like would I say tools, just like a small first aid kit, kind of like when you're working on the farm and you get injured, just things that you can use basically. So we distributed that. So that is what we do. If you want to be a part of this, I mean, you can reach out to me, right? Do I now start saying my name? You know my name already. My name is Anna Rotimi-William. You can reach out to me on any of my social media platforms, Instagram. Just type Anna Rotimi-William. It's not even hard to find. Not hard to find on the internet. Straightforward something, LinkedIn, and yeah, you can reach out to me if you'd like to be a part of this. But that is what we do. We are just focused on the health and well-being of the farmer, and by extension, other people in the agricultural sector, but specifically the farmers. But then we can branch if we need to.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing that. And guys, you've heard it. If you want to connect with her, please do so across all social media platforms. Her name is Hannah Rotimi-Williams. And also, healthcare practitioners that also want to be part of the work that she's doing, sort of collaborate with her, whether it's like the physical health outreach or the psychological health outreach as well. Please do reach out to her. The work that she has at hand is enormous, and I believe that we need more hands and more collaborations and more partnerships to be able to ensure that this work is not just within the locale where she is, but also across the country. And so, guys, thank you for staying with us from the beginning of this episode till the end, and thank you so much to our guests. Thank you so much to our guests that despite the challenges, that she was just enrolled, but she was committed to this, and she stayed on from the very beginning till the end. So thank you guys.
This was not the plan.
Sometimes life happens. It just shows that you've also practiced what you preach. Resilience. It was not the plan, but you kept it moving.
Yes.
You kept it moving. So it's just one of those things. But thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for the work that you do. We're talking about it behind, before we came in on live, and in studio, I'm just saying to you, the work that you do, it's like valuable work and very, very important as well. And my earnest desire is that more people get to know about the tremendous work you've been doing with rural farmers, particularly because those are the guys that actually need it much more, because they don't even have the resources to access this form of healthcare, and you are providing it for them. So thank you so much for the great work you're doing for the community, for the country. Thank you so much for your service.
Thank you so much for the platform, and thank you for having me. It's been an amazing conversation. I like that. So it's just like we're gisting, basically.
Of course, it doesn't have to be too serious. It doesn't have to be too serious.
Yeah, it was very relaxed. Just chilled reading. And I really enjoyed the session. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. And so, guys, thank you for staying with us from now till the end of the session today. See you in our next episode. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, catch up.